Great. Yeah, so I see you're already in the Discord. What role are you applying for?
2D animator.
Awesome. Cool. So I see you sent a link to your Behance portfolio.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me a little bit about like some of the work in there?
Yes.
Or just like your background in general?
Okay, I am a 2D animator with experience in game development. In my previous role, I served as a 2D spine animator in a game development company, and we were delivering games for browser, social networks, and mobile platforms. And there are several projects on Behance from my previous company. One moment, I go on the website. If you open Behance, you can see Celtic Legends, Rio Vacation, Venice in Carnival. So these are the projects from my previous work. And now I am working as a freelancer, and there are three last projects as a freelancer. So I was working as spine animator, and I was wondering what kind of software did you use in your Monochrome demo, and you're going to use in future?
Yeah, so for people that join the Discord, we pretty much leave it up to them to use whichever software they feel most comfortable with. So Photoshop is definitely, or like the whole Adobe suite is definitely recommended, but we know some people like working in other places. And then for the actual game, we use Unity to put it together.
Okay. Yeah, we worked with Unity in my previous company.
Nice. Yeah, it looks like you've got a lot of really cool experience.
Thank you.
So can you tell me about like what your process is like for when you're animating or just coming up with concepts?
Okay. Usually I have a one moment. My responsibilities were to receive assets from artists, to prepare these assets in Photoshop, to animate, and to deliver to developers. But sometimes we need to draw, I mean animators, we need to draw something because artists usually don't know exactly how the document should be prepared. So we usually not only animate, but draw something.
Awesome.
And yes, when we animate, for example, characters, we can only animate, but when we need to animate different effects, we use usually Adobe Animate to draw. So we draw the whole frames, all the frames by ourselves.
Wow. So it sounds like you've kind of got an idea of like how the pipeline works from like from like drawing it out to animating it and then to getting it in a game. So that's really awesome. Cool. So thank you for telling me about like your background and what you do.
Thank you.
So I'd like to tell you a little bit about the game and the workshop.
Okay.
But before I like go overboard with all the information, I just wanted to get an idea of what you already know about them. So what do you know about the Monochrome RPG?
Okay, I know that this is a role-playing game. I know that all the actions are in a town named Vaudeville. Yeah, I'm sorry if I pronounce the name of the town.
No, that was exactly it.
Okay, and the name of main character Otta is Otta, and I know that their whole goal of this of the characters in the game to make other citizens happy, but it sounds very cool, but it is not cool, because all the characters are not happy because they need to sorry, my English is not perfect, so I'm trying
that's okay.
to find the words. They need to sacrifice their personal actions, their personal happiness to make other people or other citizens happy.
Yeah. Cool. So it sounds like you've got a good like understanding of the themes of the game and how like really we want to emphasize like utilizing empathy over violence. And so like all of the battles are more like stage combat. No one's really getting hurt. And it's also about like coming together with your community, whether it be artists coming together or musicians coming together or comedians coming together, and finding your people. And so we kind of want those themes to extend into the Monochrome workshop. And so tell me a little bit about what you know about the workshop.
About workshop?
Yeah, so the Monochrome workshop is the kind of place where people are contributing.
Yeah, I know that there are a lot of applicants, and we all need to find a role for ourselves, and after the interview I think you will build a list of those who will take part in the first, I don't know, wave. And there will be a wish list. So you want everyone to participate, but because of a great amount of applicants, it is impossible. So some people need to wait and maybe will not be able to participate. And I know that there is a creative board where everyone can participate and create the characters that can be in the game later, and can have prizes.
Yeah, so cool. So it sounds like you've got the gist of that as well. So right now you are in the lobby with all the other applicants. And so like I was saying, we really want the workshop and like the different communities. So we want them to be really close and like energetic about the game. And so, yeah, the creative bout is our way of kind of keeping people interested in the game and also being able to show off their skills. And yeah, so what you were saying about like accepting the best applicants for the game. Yeah, so we're only planning on bringing a handful of people, like I think we said 20 to 30%. From the lobby to the main Discord. And but if you don't make it to the main Discord, I think you also were getting at this, that we do have other games in the works. And not only that, but we want people to be able to connect with each other and be able to work on projects that have nothing to do with Monochrome, for instance.
I see. That's cool.
Yeah, so is there anything, is there any questions you have about either the game or the workshop?
Yes, I had a question, yes, with the software for animation. When will you decide who will participate after this creative vote?
Yeah, so the creative bout ends at the end of June, likely. But before that, after we finish this first round of interviews, which I believe is after the first week of June. So around the second week of June, we'll start bringing on people from this first round of interviews into the main workshop.
And I have a question. When I was reading the information about this creative board, I thought that I couldn't find information about animators. I found about artists, about musicians. So can I take part?
Yeah,
so, I'm not going to draw characters, but I'd like to animate.
Yeah, that's really interesting point. I don't have a direct answer right now, but what I would say is there is one option I know of, and that is the team submission. So if you find a team to do the bout with, there will probably be people that want help animating their character.
Okay.
And then, yeah, because if you're not drawing the character, I guess there isn't anything to animate, but I'm also not the right person to talk to about art. So maybe this is a good time to introduce myself, because I just realized I didn't do that. So like I said, I did tell you my name. I'm Jay. And so I'm the lead programmer for the Monochrome RPG.
Nice to meet you.
And I'm also doing some of the music direction in the Discord. And just doing like general community related things, answering questions, doing the interviews. And yeah, I've been making games for the past like 4 years, but have been programming like in virtual reality and other things for about 6 or 7 years. And yeah, so all that to say, if you do have any art specific questions, Nickel in the Discord is definitely the person to ask.
Okay.
But yeah, check out the Bout team.
The name of the channel, Boat Need Team, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So have you ever seen anything, or before I move on, do you have any more questions?
I think no. Maybe a question. If you remember, it was me who sent screenshots to the feedback channel with artifacts. So I tried to play the game on Mac, and it was rather difficult for me because it was almost impossible. I couldn't see nothing. So did you find out the bugs?
So no, unfortunately, I don't have a Mac to test on. So that is something that we need to resolve on our end. And yeah, so we don't have any new demo out because we've mostly been working on the battle system. Have you been able to see any of the new battle system by any chance?
I saw, but maybe it's not the last version. I saw something.
Yeah, there's a version out there that's just the battle system, and I actually haven't heard any feedback on whether or not that works on Mac. So if it's all right with you, could I send you the link to that and just have you let me know if there's still artifacts on it?
Okay.
That would be awesome. Thank you.
Welcome.
And then I see your name here. Where are you? There you are. Cool. So have you ever seen anything like the game that we're making, or like the workshop?
No, this is the first time, yeah, and this is why it is interesting for me.
Yeah, no, cool. That's definitely been a lot of the feedback we've gotten, and so that's part of why we want to have these one-on-one sessions and make sure, one, people are actually interested in this, and also be able to see what kind of skills everybody has.
Actually, I'm in love with the game style. I mean, this black and white, all Disney style of art and animation. This is the first reason why I would like to take a part.
Awesome.
Because I like my job, yeah, and I think this project is really very, very nice and beautiful. And as for me, it is very important that I like the art. I need to animate.
Cool. Have you ever done anything like this 1920s style before?
No. So of course, we use all the principles of animations in. I used in animations of characters in my game company, but I have never take part in such a project. So.
Cool. Well, we're excited to get started.
Me too.
So it sounds like you've worked in a few game studios, or maybe just one, and have worked on a bunch of projects. So where do you kind of see yourself going in 5 years from now?
I would like to be an animator, yes, a skilled one, and I also like to draw. So I like to draw and I like to animate my characters. So sometimes in my previous company, I had to animate an art that I didn't like. After work at home, I just needed to draw someone or something, or maybe object or effect to get satisfaction from my work, you know?
Yeah.
So I hope that in 5 years I will be an animator with a great experience, with a lot of games made, and maybe I would like to try a 3D animation. So actually, I have economic education, and I always thought that it is too boring for me, and I would like to work as a, I don't know, creator, maybe a designer or an artist. So that's why I'm in this area.
Wow.
Yes. And I found a thing that I would like to do in future, the area where I would like to develop myself. So I can't say exactly where I will be in 5 years, but I would like to be here. Yes, in games, in art, and in animation.
Cool. Yeah. So how can we help you reach that goal is kind of my next question.
It would be very inspiring for me just to take part. Sometimes I think that I would like to animate just because I like it. So I don't think about money a lot. I just need to enjoy my job. I think this is the most important thing in your work during your life, to get satisfaction and inspiration, to will to develop yourself. So I will be happy to participate.
Great. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I always find when I'm working on a project that I am not passionate about, it takes me so long to do, even though it's something I know I can do quickly. It's just working up the energy.
Yeah. I understand.
So what are some of the challenges you kind of see working with the workshop?
I think working with people who doesn't speak my native language. So I think this is the most challenging thing.
And what is your native language?
Russian.
Russian, okay.
Yes, actually I'm from Belarus, but currently I'm living in the United States, and
Nice. Where in the US are you?
San Francisco Bay Area.
Oh, I love San Francisco. I used to
Oh,
live
me
there.
too. Yeah.
Where in San Francisco do you live?
Not in the city, not far from, in a suburb, a small town, Walnut Creek. So 20 minutes far
Okay.
from San Francisco.
Yeah, there's a BART stop for Walnut Creek,
Yeah.
isn't there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So I have one last question. Imagine that there's no limits to what the workshop can do. How could we like exceed your expectations? What's something we could do that really would like impress you so much and you never expected we could do it?
Yeah, tricky question. I think that maybe to have enormous audience, huge, you couldn't expect that the audience will be so large. The audience of your game, not only English speaking people, but people speaking different languages.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, that's something very interesting that we've been thinking about because especially when it comes to like humor and jokes, they don't always cross translate well.
Yes, yeah, I see.
So yeah, we've been thinking about like different ways we can incorporate jokes if when we do translations for the game. But yeah, no, I agree. That's very important to make sure not only English speakers can play this game.
Because really the game is looks very, very interesting, very beautiful, and for those who were raised up during the Disney cartoons, this game is amazing.
Great. Well, thank you. Do you have any more questions for me?
No, I think no.
Awesome. Well, it was really nice to get to know you and talk to you.
For me too. It was a great experience for me. Yeah.
Great. I'm glad to hear. And yeah, we will definitely be in touch, and I will send you the link to the newer battle. And yeah, just let me know if you see any artifacts or anything. I'm sure they'll be there, but I'd like to confirm.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Have a good rest of your day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.